Hi, it's Positive Emotional Healing. Humility and forgiveness are important tools. Humility and forgiveness are important tools. Why? Well, I guess if you've been around enough, been alive on earth long enough, and you've got some sense of maturity and personal growth, you'll realize that most, if not no one, has it all together. No one's perfect. There's no one who's completely successful in every area of their life. There's some people who come close, So humanity brings a lot of baggage with it. We have cultural baggage. We have baggage from our childhood, every person. Baggage historically, where we're born, what tribe we're born into. This all affects how we turn out as individuals. And if I guess an immature response is to brazenly think that your culture, your individuality, your tribe that you're a part of is the best and greatest that's ever lived, and that everyone else is not. And to judge other people, other individuals, other countries for their behavior, how they operate in the world. Some people do what we can perceive as bad things. Some people do a lot of good things. Saints, criminals, everyone in between, celebrities. Humility and forgiveness are important tools. I guess in terms of your own personal growth and self-awareness, having humility is an understanding that you don't have it all together. You're not perfect. You're perfect, I guess, in the eternal universal sense. Your humanity is not perfect. Your biology is not perfect. Well, that's another conversation. But your humanity, who you are, is not perfect. True humility is to understand that, and understand that when you have that in yourself, you're not always going to react in the optimum way to what happens in the external world. And I guess it is to look at other people with a softer gaze, a softer, less judgmental gaze, and realize, you know what, everybody on earth is just kind of working it out. Everyone's got their own battles, everyone's got their own struggles. Every person has stuff beneath the surface that we are totally unaware of. We see probably 0.001% of the actual person that we're interacting with in the outside world, or the person we see on the media. We don't see the 99.999% that's below the surface, what's making people do what they do. We don't know the full story about any person. We don't know the full story about that person who did that mass shooting. We don't know the full story of that person who got brainwashed and put into and became a suicide bomber. We don't know the full story of that criminal, of their childhood or their background. We don't know the full story about anyone. So really, humility is to understand that we're not seeing the big picture. We're only seeing a small micro molecule of what an essence of a human being is. So that's why humility is important. And forgiveness is an important tool. Obviously, in your own peace of mind and your self-growth. It's forgiveness of yourself and forgiveness of others. Forgiveness of your parents. Your dad may have left when you were young, your mum. Forgiving them. They didn't have it all together. And really, at the end of the day, it's about bringing more peace to yourself. If you are walking out into the world judging everything you see, or this person, that person, blah, 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 on the media, what an idiot, well, whatever the internal dialogue's happening within you, does that bring you peace? I know it doesn't bring me peace. And paradoxically, the more we judge and criticize the outside world and people in the outside world, the more we seem to judge and criticize and are negative about ourselves. We feel guilty on an unconscious level about that, the way we are operating in the world. On the opposite side is to operate with humility and forgiveness, and knowing that when people do the wrong thing by you, that they're not perfect and you're not perfect, but we can strive to be as perfect as we can. And this is echoed by obviously the major spiritual beliefs out there, but we can strive to be as perfect as we can towards others, and have that soft approach and less judgmental approach to the world. But if that's how you operate, that's totally cool. That's totally your free choice. And I will say, on the flip side though, the more you judge and criticize the outside world, the more stressed you become. Because that's what happens when we get stressed. When we feel stressed, we feel separation from people. We feel separation from humanity. And that creates stress. But when we feel connected and safe and peaceful, then our immune system's operating at full capacity. We're rested, we're in homeostasis, we're feeling great. But when we're in stress, and when we're critical and negative and judgmental, we're switching off that immune system. We're putting ourselves in survival mode, which is fight, flight, freeze. Which if you watch these videos enough, you're going to get that sense of what fight, flight, freeze and survival mode is, and stress is, and how that shuts down your body's healing systems. Your body's not repairing and restoring itself when it's out there fighting. So really, having an attitude of humility and forgiveness is important for your health, because, you may be thinking of the past and how people did the wrong thing by you in the past, males or females or anyone, co-workers, managers, whatever. Bringing it back to you and letting that go, and having a focus and intention of forgiving it and letting it go. And it may be hard because obviously everyone has different experiences in life, but to have that intention is something that's going to be, I would argue, in my opinion, beneficial for your health long term. Thanks for watching. This is Positive Emotional Healing. I hope you got some value out of that. Humility and forgiveness are important tools, especially in, just quickly, Carl Jung talked about the shadow. What we perceive as the negative aspects of other people or things going on in the world is really the deep, dark, submersed, suppressed negativities we have about ourselves. And the more we can perceive the outside world with forgiveness and humility and love, unconditional love, then we are in that process of healing that shadow, the deep dark part, the deep dark animal part of every human being. That's we have that part. Everyone has that. Thanks for watching. Have a fantastic day. Hope you got some value.